Hey parents, Mr. Molly here with another active parent mindset video. Every morning without being told, do your children wake up, make their own breakfast, wash their dishes, get dressed, brush their teeth, pack their own lunch and snacks for school, and get out the door on time, ready to go, all without having to be told? Sounds like a dream, right? But my son did this at 5 years old, so I promise you it is possible. Now my children are far from perfect, and I'm far from the perfect parent. I mean, is there really even such a thing? But I've devoted my entire life to developing kids into leaders, and I'm happy to share with you what has worked for us. You know what's crazy? Any teacher of low-income inner-city kids will tell you that they are the most self-reliant kids. They usually come from tragic backgrounds, single-parent homes, and poor living conditions, but they are almost always on time for school. Because if they aren't, they miss cafeteria breakfast, and they may not have another meal coming. They rarely forget to bring those school supplies, and they treat their belongings with respect because they know what their absence feels like, and they are grateful to have them. They live that way naturally because they don't know any other way. Now, the good news is you do not need to neglect your child to build those qualities in them, okay? As a third-generation martial arts student of Bruce Lee, he taught us to absorb what is useful and discard the rest. The useful lesson is this: natural consequences are the best teacher, and sheltering children from the natural consequences teaches irresponsibility. We need to allow our children to make mistakes, but they need to be manageable mistakes that they can recover from. You know, malnutrition, tattoos, piercings, unwanted pregnancies, probably not what we would consider manageable mistakes because they have permanent effects. But if your child wants to leave for school in shorts and a t-shirt when it's freezing outside, what if you just let them go? If they forget their lunch, what if you just let them go hungry for the day? You see, lecturing and arguing and getting frustrated with them is a choice. So is simply saying nothing and letting them freeze it out and then later asking questions about that experience. Not a lecture, but like a follow-up discussion, asking questions like, how'd that feel? Who else did that affect? What could you do differently next time? And if they lose a toy or something they value, what if they just had to buy it with their own money? A new one. What if you resisted the urge to come to their rescue and just let the natural consequences happen? You may be thinking, yeah, but if they aren't ready for school on time, it affects me and the entire family. We'll be late. They won't feel the consequences. Well, here's a tip for you. Find what they love and make it scarce. See, my son loves playing video games. If he's done with all his responsibilities for the week, on Fridays, he's rewarded with some video game time. We do the same thing in our after-school program, our private school, our summer camp. We call it Fun Friday. Now, maybe for your child, it needs to be a shorter-term goal, like an end-of-day bonus or something, like staying up an extra 15 minutes past bedtime. Whatever it is, it's earned. It's a privilege, not a right. See, the best things in life are reserved for the people with outstanding discipline. That's just how the world works. Our job as parents is to show children how to attain those experiences. And if it doesn't have, it doesn't have to be frustrating. It can be fun, right? Like, turn it into a game. Kids love games. Gamify it. When my son was young, he struggled with remembering to close the car door every single time he got out. Oh my goodness, was it frustrating for us as parents. Lectures, reminders, punishments, nothing was working. It wasn't serving us, so we gamified it. I told him that every time he remembered to close the car door, he could give me 10 tickles. But if he forgot, he would receive 10 tickles. See, we would just tickle each other's most ticklish spot and count out loud to 10. He thought that was so fun, and he started to remember to close the car door. And a month later, he closed it every time. Eventually, the tickles that whole part was just forgotten, but the closing of the door became a habit. Similar games later applied to his lunchbox, his school bag, his shoes, being out the door on time, and we kept score. Kids 1, Dad 0. You want your kid to play less video games? There's a reason they want to play video games. Gamify that. Send them out on an adventure. Bury the controller somewhere out here in the backyard and tell them, you're going on a scavenger hunt. Send them on it. Send them out to find the next clue by climbing a tree or something, Congratulations, you're one step closer. Your next clue will be found under the pile of clothes in the laundry basket. Eventually, they end up in the washing machine and they find a buried treasure map with a handwritten note or something with an X, marks a spot. Sometimes the things you're looking for are closer than you thought. Love, Dad. Send them on an adventure, guys. Start small. Behaviors are easier to change slowly over time. Gamify the process of it. Make what they love scarce. Celebrate their wins and place very little emphasis on those failures. Just let the natural consequences be the teacher. If all that sounds like a lot of work, That's because it is. We all struggle with it each and every day. You know what else is hard work? Being frustrated, repeating yourself over and over, doing it for them out of convenience, and shielding them from the lessons of natural consequences, which enables them, and in the long run creates an adult who is entitled and dependent. You're free to choose to respond that way as well. You know, we may not get to choose all of our struggles as parents, but we do get to choose how we respond to them. I know it's tough sometimes, but you can do this. Just remember, what makes your child successful is not what you do for them, it's what you've taught them to do for themselves. I hope you found this video helpful. Please feel free to share it. Reach out to us if you need any help. That's what we're here for. Thanks, and have a great day.